And we're back welcoming 5-time world champion Paige Pierce to the press conference. Paige, welcome to Stockton, California.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
And you are the defending champion of the OTB Open last year. Let's just get right into it. There's been some significant changes to the courses. How do you feel about the course this year?
Yeah, it's good memories here. I had one just playing my practice round just a minute ago. All the memories were flooding in. It was one of my favorite battles I've ever been in with Katrina. We went shot for shot, and she had the box on me on the later part of the round. Hole 13 and 14 are very vivid in my mind, and she parked both of them, forcing me to make both of those birdies as well. And those holes are actually still here, even though there's a redesign, but they're in a different order. So luckily I won't have to birdie those if I want to win the tournament back to back again, I think, because it's like hole 6 and hole 9 or something. So it's cool to have a few holes that are the same, but I think it's only like 5 of them. Most of the course is changed. And I just heard the Sean's interviews, and they said their biggest thought was spectator friendly. They wanted to make it longer and think 3 to 5 years ahead as far as like the skill level. So I think currently right now the course is going to beat us as players. I think it's going to be very hard to shoot well under par, maybe a few under par, but it's going to be hard to shoot well under par out on this track. I think with the wind and all the OB water and just the length of the course and the heat, it's going to be really hard to score out here. So I think it's going to be a testament of your mental game and just your physical and mental endurance to come out here with a good score.
And we appreciate those personal kind of course notes and thoughts. We didn't see you at the Masters Cup last weekend, so that tells us that this is your first West Coast event of 2022?
Yes, it is. Yep.
And so with that time off, can you tell us about the physical and the mental preparation for these West Coast events? How is Paige Pierce spending her time preparing?
Yeah, well, especially talking to you, Zoe, but I just am always honest. I'm not ready for this event. So I'm just going to have fun, and I'm playing with Ella and Owen tomorrow. I'm so stoked to play with both of them. I love them so much. And so I'm just going to go have fun and try to get my body back into throwing. I didn't really... I had a lot of practice putting sessions in my backyard and putting night in Pensacola. Shout out to Waterboys and the crew there. One of my favorite putting leagues ever. But I hadn't thrown a disc in, I guess, since my final round of DDO. I hadn't thrown a disc, just putted. So my putt feels amazing. But I need to get back into the throwing swing of things. So my body's sore. The shots are long. It feels foreign to me right now. So yeah, luckily I got to play 3 practice rounds and really figure out the course. Now it's just going to be up to my body to hang in there and remember it knows what to do.
And passing it off to the PDGA here.
Hey Paige.
Hello.
Great to see you back out on tour.
Thank you.
Last couple of events for you were slightly below your standards. You finished 5th and 7th the last 2 Elite Series that you played, and that took some time off. How does that reset, taking time away, set your expectations for this week?
I was actually just talking about this. It's kind of fun to take some time off because, especially when something's going wrong with your game. So, maybe your putting stroke isn't so good or your form's off, you're early releasing. If you kind of just take like a week or so off, you stop thinking about all of those things like, oh, my putt's been bad. Oh, I'm doing this. And you take that time off, and then you get excited to throw again. You get that fresh mentality of like, you don't remember all the things that were going wrong. You're just back to getting back into it. Your body knows what to do. I've been doing this since I was 4 years old. So it takes all that mental pressure and doubts away. So yeah, as I just answered in the last question, my body doesn't feel ready yet, but that's because I'm out here trying to throw 12,000 feet in 18 holes. So it's really just getting my endurance back. And this is going to be the perfect place to do that, to get ready for Portland and the rest of the season, really.
Now, we've heard you say that you haven't really thrown many discs in the last few weeks, but that you've also played 3 practice rounds out here on the 12,000-foot course.
Yeah.
So that implies to me that there's a real difference for you between throwing a disc in practice and throwing a disc in the tournament. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I hadn't thrown at all until I got here to Stockton. But yeah, since I got to Stockton, that's all I've been doing. You know, I'm playing practice rounds. You know, especially on a course where 13 of the holes are brand new to you. You are throwing a lot of shots, and when there's only like 4 par 3s, I think, on the course, you're throwing a lot of shots really hard. So my body's super sore. I'm actually straight from this press conference having a session with Seth Muncie and Disc Golf Strong. But yeah, it's kind of just the repetition, making sure you know what shots you're going to throw. If there's Sean's interview, they just talked about actually that you wouldn't expect the lines out here on this ball golf course and all the trees, but there really is, and you guys are going to see that tomorrow. There's so many different options on every single hole. So I mean, I'm throwing 2 anhysers, 2 straight shots, 2 rollers, 2 hyzers, and I'm throwing, next thing you know, I'm throwing 8 discs on one tee pad. And so yeah, it does help to get back out on tour. Here you are, you're in Stockton. This is the only reason you're in Stockton. So take your time and figure out what you're going to do. And yeah, I'm excited for the test tomorrow to figure out when the time comes, which one of those shots is going to be the one that gets me closest to getting a birdie.
Hearing from Sean and Sean that they've really stretched the course as far as the FPO field. Not many of the women will be able to reach a lot of the par 3s. You're one of the longest throwers on course. How much is that going to affect your game plan, knowing that a lot of the field can't catch you on par 3s?
Yeah, you know, I am excited to prove them wrong on that. I have a lot more faith in the FPO division than it seems that they do. And not, what's his name, Leonard something, that made the course. He actually told me that earlier in the week before I saw it. He's like, oh man, I think the girls are going to be mad at me. They're not going to be able to reach the par 3s. And I got to them. They're 340, 360, 299, and I think 345. And I don't know what women these people are talking about, but I know my fellow FPO competitors are throwing 310 at least, 320, 330. We are going to get some birdies out here if the wind stays down. So I'm excited to prove them wrong and to give the viewers a good show.
Great answer. Matt LaValle from DGN.
Paige, just thanks for joining us. We're
Yeah.
all set. Thank you.
I don't think I have a choice, really. I think I
Yeah.
signed a contract. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.